Hello, so at Alton Towers today, home park, absolutely love being able to get over here, and obviously being a Platinum Merlin pass holder, I get the opportunity to go in through the Galactica gate, which brings me straight into Forbidden Valley rather than having to walk all the way down to the entrance at Towers Street, which saves a lot of time getting into the park, getting on rides a little bit quicker. When I had a look at queue times just as I was getting out of the car, Galactica was on 10 minutes, Nemesis was on 20, so may as well try and get those out of the way quickly and then head down into the rest of the park to see what else I can get on and see how things are riding. So just got off Galactica. As always, really smooth ride. I always think it's a really tame ride to say it's a major coaster. Obviously the only upside to it for me is that it was the world's first flying coaster. The fact you're in the station that you weren't in when you left makes it feel like you've actually travelled somewhere a little bit, which I do really like. So, just been on Nemesis Reborn, one of my favourite rides on the park, probably one of my favourite rides in the country to be honest, especially if Smiley didn't exist, it probably would be my favourite. Queue said 45 minutes, but it was nearer to half an hour. Operations in Forbidden Valley are absolutely incredible today. 3 craft and 2 stations on Galactica. Both trains running on Nemesis, and they are really working hard to make sure that the throughput is keeping really high and that they are doing a great job on that. So I've just had a look at the app and Wickerman is showing a 40-minute queue. So going to have a wander down there and try to get in that. Hopefully the queue doesn't go up before I get there. Just having a nice little wander through Gloomy Wood. Very nicely themed area. Very small though. Shame there's only one ride in the area, which is Curse, a dark ride, but still a very well themed area. They've put a lot of effort into making sure that it looks good, it feels creepy, and I'm pretty sure it will feel even creepier and even more eerie once Scarefest comes in a couple of months. So just got to outside Wickerman, and I'm telling you now, that is definitely not a 40-minute queue. That is probably near a 70, if not 80. So a couple of minutes after I filmed that bit you've just seen, they did actually update it on the screen and the app to say 70 minutes. But still, leaving it till the queue's that long to update your time, I don't think that's really good. I think they could have done a lot better with that. So I'm going to have a wander down to X Sector, try to get on Oblivion. It's saying 20 minutes. Let's hope that this is actually the case and that they haven't done what they've done on Wickerman and just kept the number at a completely unrealistic figure. So just got off Oblivion. It said it was a 20-minute queue. Felt more like it was probably about 15. Great operations, both stations running, 6 trains running. They're really getting them out fast today, which is great to see. That's why the queue is staying so short, because they're just keeping on top of it, which is what they need to do now we're in summer holidays. They really need to be making sure that they're keeping on top of that stuff, making sure that things are running smoothly, prevents long queues, prevents people getting disappointed. Also, great to see they've both got both cameras running again. The one as you're dropping and the one out as you come out of the hole. For a while you're only getting the one as you come out of the hole. It's a little bit washed out, as you'll see from the photos that I'll put in a minute. But other than that, great to have both cameras running again on there. And I'm stood just in front of the Smiler, seeing it's a 40-minute queue, so it'd be rude not to get on that straight away. So just got off the Smiler. Great ride, always is. My favourite ride on the park. I absolutely love a ride on the Smiler. When I got in the queue, it said 40 minutes. It was moving very quickly. You could tell they were trying to get trains through quickly. Operations were on top form, which, as I've said quite a few times already today, operations just seem to be incredible today. Other than that with Wickerman earlier, where they didn't seem to want to update the time, it's been incredible. Everything seems to be running smoothly. There was a little bit of a hiccup with the Smiler. Got into the station building just before you go up the steps, and they did put an announcement out saying there was a delay. That was about 15 minutes, but for how quick the queue line had already been moving, I don't really think it was that bad. It probably pushed my wait time to about 45 minutes all in all. So I'm not displeased with that. They were doing a really good job on operations with the rest of it. So you've got to give them a bit of grace occasionally. I'm just having a wander up towards Fountain Square right now, where they've got the Minecraft event. I'm not going to walk you through that, talk you through that, but I am going to take some footage for you to be able to see what's going on with that, because Minecraft isn't exactly my area of expertise, so wouldn't want to say something and do it in misjustice. So I'm just going to let the footage do the talking on this one.
We live beneath the ocean. If we throw our tridents, we throw it. Nice job. Excellent work. Excellent work. What zombie shall we be now? What zombie would you like to be?
I am golden.
A golden zombie. So show off your golden armor, zombies. We are golden zombies. Look at me, I have golden zombie armor. I stole it from an adventurer. Very nice. And what zombie shall we be now? What zombie would you like to be? A drowned zombie once more. So we're going to flow like drowned zombies and throw your tridents. Throw them around. We are trying to get those adventurers and get their lovely loot. Very nice. And what shall we be this time? What zombie would you like to be? A golden zombie once more.
Would you like to talk about that? What a great event. I absolutely love what they've done with the park for Minecraft. It's great having the walk around as well, getting people going around finding the stamps, the vibe up in Fountain Square and around all the Meet the Mob stands where you got to go for your stamps is absolutely incredible. The vibe, the buzz around the area is incredible. I got talking to one of the staff as well that had got one of the little puppets. You'll have just seen him a minute ago with the panda puppet. Got talking to him if he was enjoying the event, if he was enjoying what was happening, and he said he's absolutely loved it, and he's had very similar to say that the buzz, the vibe has been incredible. It's probably one of the best events he's ever worked because he's not seen any negativity towards the event. He's not seen anything of a negative form about it, and he's absolutely loved being able to bring smiles and joy to children's faces through bringing the animals to life, which I think is great when you've got staff that are so passionate and so happy to just want to be able to create a smile on a face. Now, I'm just heading over to the Alton Towers exhibition. I had a look at this when I wasn't filming the other day, and it is an incredible thing. So I just want to quickly take you around it and just show you what's in there. Part of the history both of the theme park and of the actual towers from when it was the Earl of Shrewsbury's. And yeah, I think it's a great little thing they've got in, and really hope that they can actually turn it into something more permanent after the summer. Find somewhere a bit better to put it, but find something where they can actually make it a permanent thing where people can come and look at the history of Alton Towers. I know personally it brought back a lot of memories of some of the old rides. I can't hear it today, but the other day they'd got some of the old ride theme tunes on, and when the Flumes theme tune came on, it brought back so many great memories of going on the log flume over the years. So here's the pagoda. Originally the pagoda was actually meant to be taller. If you go and look at the real thing, it's not actually as tall as this model. There's not as many stories. It should have originally been a little bit taller. And if you want to pause, there's a little bit of information about it just there. There's also, just round the corner from it, one of the original ticket machines from going into the gardens before it opened as a theme park. And as you can see, the price for entry was $2.50 to get into the gardens and have a look at that. There's also some old photos going back to the early days, seeing back when the Alton Towers estate was the actual Alton Towers estate and not a theme park or a public area. That is the Octagon Hall, which is now used as one of the pre-show rooms for Hex, and that is part of the conservatory that you come out into after Hex. Here we've got some old costume stuff from when Dark Forest was Ugland, and I think it's great that they've kept these in good condition. You've also got some photos from when it was Ugland, some photos of the corkscrew as well, and I think seeing some of that old theming is really incredible. I'm just going to let you take some of it in. I'm not going to talk over everything, because I feel like if I talk over every single photo, then you'd get a little bit fed up of my voice. But I will be pointing out some things that I find especially interesting through the exhibition. Another thing I really like is the fact they've still got some of the Henry Hound plushes, and his, whether you want his girlfriend or just a friend, Henrietta Hound as well, and some Magic Show comics from him as well, and some of the different outfits that he wore as well. There's also, very interesting, a bag of crisps right here, Henry the Hound crisps that actually expired in 1996. So these crisps are actually 20 years out of date, and I think it's great that they've kept a pack of them just for the nostalgia, just to show what they actually liked and showed what they did. Here's a old poster of Alton Towers as well, showing some of the old rides. Some of these things are now gone, and I think it's really good that we can look at this and remember back into things like the black hole and the corkscrew. Obviously a lot of the stuff down the left hand side, the gardens, stuff like that, is still there. One thing that isn't there now is Talbot Street, which is now World of David Williams, and that used to be a Victorian theme. This is the Explorer Club. We will now know that as Pizza Pasta. Back then it was the Explorer Club restaurant. It's since then also been KFC. Now these weren't actually working the other day when I came round. There's some of the old adverts that used to be on TV for actually the 1992. And I will wait around. I won't make you sit through this 1 minute wait, but I will film the whole thing because I think it's really interesting. So this is the 1992 Alton Towers advert. So that was just one of the adverts that they're showing. There's a few of them constantly on loop. There's two tellies, one here and one just over there. As you can see, the next one that's going to be shown on that one is the one from when they opened Air originally. I believe that one could be for Jewel. Oblivion, a few facts around it from when it first opened on key things that if you really like roller coasters and if you're really into theme park stuff, you will find really interesting. There's also here some of the Oblivion merch. You've got the infamous Oblivion condoms right there. Oblivion watch and Oblivion mug. I've still got a really big one of those that I picked up here in 2008, I think it was. And down here there is a concept of the seats for Air, which we now know as Galactica, and also some of the stuff from Wicker Man, including the Wicker Man Fiery Wood Smoked Barbecue Crisps. Like I say, I'm not going to go through everything in here. I really think that if you're going to want to take this in properly, you're going to have to come and experience it for yourself. One thing I have just realised that I didn't show you is an egg from Subterra. I think it's great that they've put that out. It was a spare egg. They've also got a Nemesis eye just round the corner, round here. And also a image they used for the promotion of when they were building the Smiler. Here you've got some things on how the what we know now as the Curse of Alton Manor or the Haunted House could have looked like. I was talking to someone about these actually, and we think that the heads would have been a great addition, but I do definitely prefer it with the bigger window. I definitely prefer the bigger windows rather than the arched windows, and some concept on how other things around that could have looked. The gates, not quite sure what that was going to be. I believe it'd have been some theming around it, possibly where they've put the coffin, or it could also be where the ice cream shop is now. If anyone knows, drop a comment. I would love to know what that actually is. Moving back up this side, we've got an old Alton Towers uniform. I don't think I could picture the staff wearing that today. And then as we carry moving around, we've got an old map up here. And a hand-drawn one, if you can see it through the light. The sun, we are battling the sun a little bit to get good footage. And there's some more old maps over here. I love an old map. I've actually got the 2008 and 2009 ones at home in a bit of a memory box. So seeing the 2009 one is actually quite good because I've got it myself. I regularly open it up when I'm talking about how the park's changed to have a look at what's moved, what's there, what's not there anymore. We've also got some old mugs here and one of the Viewmasters. For those of you a little bit younger, you used to put the card in, look into it and press the little black button just there, and then that would show you different images. Now here's something I've never seen, and I didn't notice this the other day when I walked around, an Alton Towers wine. Whether this was for sale, whether this was just in the hotels, it'd be great to know. Yet again, if anyone knows anything about what the history of this wine is, then please let me know, because there's nothing to tell you about it either. There's a bit about the Royal Dalton plates, and one to the Two Swords group. I don't know if you can hear in the background, but they actually did just have the Flume music on, which was one of my favourite parts. Like I said, this is just a very quick, brief look at what they've got going on within this area, and I do think it is worth coming down and having a look. I'm not going to pick out every single item because I'd be here for hours. Another interesting thing, these are here all the time actually, but is about when they restored the chapel to its former glory and some of the work they did on that. I will just show you the roof in there in a minute on the work that they've done and how they've actually worked that through and what they've actually done within here. As you can see, the roof is absolutely stunning, and you can also see the angels that on the board I've just shown you where they were on about restoring the roof. and I think it is actually an incredible little thing that they've done just to restore this, just to bring some of the former glory of the park back to life. In here, you've got some of the things that will only be shown during the VIP experience, which I'm not going to do personally. I know a few people have, and you can go and watch the videos. Isn't he a creepy little thing? But yes, there's some very nice secrets under those cloths. I do know what they are because I've seen some of the other people's stuff. They're some of the control panels from the original Nemesis, which obviously they're only going to bring out for that, and I get, obviously they need to make paying for the experience actually worth it. But yes, I think it's an incredible thing. I would definitely recommend anybody who's here at Towers over the summer to go and have a look at it, go and relive some of your memories if you've been brought up coming to Towers, or if you've been in years gone by. Come have a look at it, bring back some memories, bring back some great times that you've spent within this park. Personally, it's brought back some great memories. Like I say, I've only shown you a few things that I found really interesting within that. You could easily spend a good hour walking around in there, looking at old stuff, bringing back some memories. And like I say, if you're at Alton Towers over the summer, I'd definitely recommend going and have a look at it. It's definitely worth taking a bit of time out, taking a bit of a breather from the rides and going and having a look at it. I know you've just seen me going in the other direction, but I've just had a look at the queue times, and 13's on a 40-minute queue. Past few times I've been to the park, I've not done it. Queues have been through the roof on there. I get it. It's a great family coaster, great ride to take. The ones that are slightly too short to go on, things like Nemesis and Smiler. If you're not at 1.4 but you're at 1.2, things like Wicker Man and 13 are great rides to get people on and get them hooked on roller coasters. So yes, just having a wander down there. Hopefully the queue time hasn't changed much when I get there. Hopefully it's still on about a 40-minute queue, if not gone down. None of us really like queuing, and I'm not really wanting to use my one-shot fast track on something like 13. I'm going to see how the day goes on and use it if I have to later in the day. But just having a wander into Dark Forest, and I will see you on the other side as long as the queue isn't too long. So I was just on my way to 13, and even though the queue time on the sign says 70 minutes for Rita, there's not a soul in sight on the queue line. So I've decided to have a wander through just to see what's actually happening and why it's saying a 70-minute wait when I am just about to walk under the launch and I've not seen another person in the queue yet. So Rita definitely wasn't a 70-minute queue. Felt like it was more about 20. They are only running one train though. I was on the back row, which I've never done, which was a new experience, and it's very, very rough at the back, I will tell you that. If you get put on the back row, get ready for some sore shoulders. But same as always, very short ride, over very quickly. If it was anything other than that launch, it would be a very boring ride. So this time I actually am having a walk over to 13, still saying 40 minutes. Someone I got chatting to in the queue for Rita said that it was probably nearer about 30 when they'd just been on, and it said 40, so hopefully a little bit quicker than expected, which would be good. I would have tried to get some off-ride footage for you like I try to do for most rides, but with 13 being very in the woods, you can't really see any of it. So yes, I will see you on the other side of 13. So just got off 13, decided to go down the single rider queue instead. The main queue did look accurate to about 40 minutes when I walked past it, and yeah, as always, I think it's a great ride for Towers to have, to put children and people who are a little bit more scared of roller coasters into their first thrill element with that free fall drop. I think it's a great way to introduce thrill elements into people's roller coaster journeys. I was next to a little kid. His mum was on the row in front with his, I'm assuming with his sister, and all the way up the lift hill he's going, yeah, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's a great ride. And then he went, yeah, it's not that high. Then we hit that first stop and he's going, oh gosh, oh no, which I found great. Got chatting to his mum as well on that second lift hill, and she said that she'd not told them about that little surprise element, that free fall drop, which I did find quite funny when we hit that drop, and obviously neither of them had a clue what was happening. But yeah, I'm going to have a look at what queue times are at, and then I will update you. So Wicker Man is currently showing a 45-minute queue according to the app. Obviously not quite sure whether to believe it after earlier's experience, but I will go down, have a look. If it is about 45 minutes, I'll happily wait for it. Obviously they've not got a single rider queue on Wicker Man, so can't use that as a bit of a shortcut, and not quite at the point of the day of wanting to use my one-shot fast track yet either. But I'll have a wander down, see what the queue's like, and I will let you know if there's any issues with that like this morning. So just got down to near Wicker Man and the queue is up at 60 minutes now. As much as I love the Wicker Man, I don't really feel like waiting an hour for it. So seeing how it's right next door, I'm going to go and have a walk around Sharkbait Reef, the Sea Life Centre, and just have a bit of a relax, bit of a cool down. The weather didn't really say the sun was going to be out today, but as you can see, the sun's come out a little bit warmer than expected, so I'm going to go and have a bit of a cool down in Sharkbait Reef. So I'm going to have a wander over to the lawns now. They've got a cargo back for the summer, and this time rather than being in Fountain Square, which obviously they can't be in because you've got Minecraft Meet the Mobs in there, they're over on the front lawns near Tower Street. So I'm going to have a wander over there, see what's happening, see what's there, see what the vibe feels like. I'm going to do similar to what I did with Minecraft, take a bit of a video around, quick little summary of around the area, but I'm not going to talk over it. I'm just going to take a minute or so video, just quickly walking through the area, just so you can see what the vibe's like, what the atmosphere's like, and hopefully if you're coming to Towers over the summer, you can pop and get something. I'm definitely thinking I'm going to have to grab a drink while I'm there.
what can we do? Do you know what I mean?
So while things are quite busy everywhere, I've decided to pop into the little pub, the Welcome Inn, that's just opposite Wickerman. So yeah, thought I'd just have a little quick stop, quick drink. The reason I didn't have one down at Cargo was because the music was a little bit too loud. I really love the fact that you can sit next to the lake, have a drink, have a chill, but for me the music was just that little bit too loud and intense for me to be able to quiet down and have a bit of a chill out properly. As you can probably hear, there's a little bit of background music in here themed to Wickerman, which I think is great. It's not too loud, not too in your face, but down at Cargo it was just a little bit too loud when I just wanted to be able to sit down and have a quick chill. So Wickerman is still insanely busy, but just had a look on the app and Nemesis is showing a 25-minute wait, so thought I'd pop up back up to Forbidden Valley and quickly get a re-ride in on that, then have a wander back down, see what Wickerman's like, and then probably finish off the day with a re-ride on Smiler. As I was walking up, I quickly thought I'd get a video of this. Great to see that the waterfalls are working today and getting people very wet. I was here back end of last week and the waterfalls unfortunately weren't on. I always think they add something to the ride. I think they add an element of obviously getting you wet, especially then. They had a great element of getting you wet, a great element and some great theming to the ride, and I just think the ride isn't the same when they're off.
Please make sure we do remain seated at all times, thank you.
And please remain seated. But yeah, absolutely love it when the waterfalls are on. That's one of the reasons I'd not even thought about going on. And to be honest, at this time in the day, I don't think I will anyway, but I do enjoy just standing here, watching people get soaking wet from the waterfalls anyway. So just done my re-ride on Nemesis. Queue said 30 minutes, it was more like 20. Great operations on there still. Looks like they've been running it like that all day. Absolutely incredibly fast. They've really been chucking stuff out, really been doing a good job on it. Even when they've had a couple of nervous passengers, shall we say, they've still been really just trying to keep on top of everything, really trying to act professionally. It's been really good to see. Just getting the Sky Ride down to Tower Street now. If Wickerman is still the same, I'll probably end up using my fast pass there and then going and getting in the Smiler queue for last ride of the day. Then have a walk through the park after it's closed, probably give you a bit of a walking debrief then, and then go home. So just got off the Sky Ride and decided, yes, I'm going to use my fast pass to get on Wickerman quickly. I will then probably, like I said earlier, have a wander over to Smiler, see what the queue is like, potentially risk going into the single rider queue and try to get 2 more in on Smiler, or I might just go in the main queue and just call it a day at the one. But all round so far been an incredible day, other than the misleading wait times on Wickerman. It's been a really good day today. I'm really impressed by what the park have got on over the summer, obviously with the Minecraft, the cargo being back, and also the archives exhibit, which out of the 3 I think is my favourite. I absolutely love looking around that stuff. Like I said earlier, being able to really go back and feel a bit nostalgic over some of the things with the park, I think has absolutely been incredible to be able to see. It's the first time they've ever done anything like this, and I really hope they make it a permanent installation. So just got off Wicker Man. As I said, used my fast pass because the queue times appeared to be very off from what I was actually seeing in the queue. You could tell operations were slightly off as well. The pre-show room was only half full. Then as we were coming back into the station, there was an empty train sat there. Nobody had come through the pre-show, and we were sat in that tunnel waiting to come back into the station for quite a while. They were like drip feeding people onto the ride, onto the next train, and there didn't seem to be any urgency or any willingness to want to put good operations into that ride today, which is really a shame because normally they have very good operations, but obviously I'm assuming every ride has a bad day, and I just happen to have caught Wicker Man on a bad day today. But either way, it's been a very, very fun day. Always is when I'm here. Obviously, it's my home park, so it's going to have a place in my heart. It's going to be the park I come to the most. It's going to be the park I know the best. But you always want it to operate the best, and even though I'm only an hour down the road and a platinum holder, so I could come any time I want, it's still always a shame to see bad operations, because there will be a lot of people where they've paid out a lot of money to come on a day trip, to bring the family on a day trip, and then bad operations like that can just affect the whole day. It can just put a dampener on it, and it can just stop people getting their value for money for what they've actually paid for. So we're at the end of the day. Managed to get that last ride in on the Smiler, which I'm ever so happy about. Ended up on the next to last train. Being on the last train doesn't really bother me, but I do enjoy getting that last ride in for the day just as they're closing the gates, just because then I get to have a nice walk back up to the car without too many people being around, and nice quiet wander back to the car just to kind of decompress and just reflect on the day. Obviously today, as I'm filming, it makes a great opportunity to just put some final thoughts out there as well. As the day's gone on, it's been really good, to be fair. As you've probably picked up, my only real grumble about today has been the operations on Wicker Man. I get they're not updating them constantly, but to be off by 30 minutes is quite tragic, to be honest. I think that the things they've got going on for the summer, the Minecraft Meet the Mobs, Cargo, which is just over to my left at the moment, and also the archives, I think they've been incredible additions to the park over the summer. As I've already made very vocal, I'd be very happy if they found somewhere to put the archives in a permanent way. Possibly get a bit more out, bit of a bigger space, because from what I believe there's only about 20 to 30% of the actual archives that are on show at the moment. Minecraft, not really my thing, but they've done a great job, great around the theming. They've put a lot of time and effort into it, and if the time and effort that they've put into this is a percentage of what they're going to do for the Minecraft world at Chessington, then all I can really say is that that is going to be incredible. Cargo, they've got some great stuff there, little overpriced for me, but great chilled vibe over there. great vibes, great atmosphere, and if you're willing to spend the money, then I'm sure the food is a lot better than what Aramark are putting out at the moment. Staff across the whole day have been incredible as well. Everyone's been really friendly. All the staff that I've stopped to have a bit of a chat to or come across today, they've all been really friendly, really sociable. None of them have seemed stressed at all. I have had it when I've come at times and something's gone slightly askew with operations on a ride, and you can tell it's getting to the staff. You can tell they're getting a little bit stressed. Not seeing any of that today. It's been really good atmosphere today, except for a few things being closed or a little bit operations wise from them being open. As it is expected, Rita has its moments. It's 24 years old, it's going to have its moments. Also, Spinball, every time I looked, it either said it was really long queue or it was closed. I get if it's been closed quite a bit, then as soon as it opens, it's going to attract quite a big queue. But still, yet again, another ride that's a little bit older now, and in my opinion, they could easily get rid of. If it was down to me, obviously with a high chance that David Walliams' world will be disappearing at the end of the season because of the 10-year IP being up, what I'd do personally, it'd be get rid of Spinball, expand CBBS landing to that area so there's a bit more space, and then turn World of David Walliams into a flat ride area. That way all the enthusiasts are getting the flat rides that we so truly want and we really desire to be back at Towers, and also you can't get parents and families getting annoyed that they're taking away from kids area when you're expanding the main kids area. Just as final roundup, absolute incredible day. Always love a day at Towers and always recommend it to anybody, especially if you're nearby. Obviously, if you're near Thorpe, then definitely go to Thorpe as your regular park. But if you can, you've got the ability, you've got a pass, then, and you're in the area, then definitely get to Towers. For me, it stops me needing to go on holidays as much. It stops me needing to take time off work for stuff, because I'll just come when I've got a quiet day at work and it completely re-energises me ready for the week ahead. Just got to Forbidden Valley, so I'm a couple of minutes away from my car. So hope you've enjoyed the video and I will see you next time.